Hello, it's me again. Today I'm going to show you my Disney Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs video CD collection. I have three different versions of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The first one is the Snow White from Vision. The distributor is called Vision. It is the official distributor for Disney movies in Indonesia. This particular edition that I have from Vision is the one that was released during the first ever release of Snow White on Blu-ray. So this video CD is made to accompany the release of Blu-ray, DVD, and in Indonesia they released the video CD format for the choice for this particular edition. So the picture quality will be different from other versions. It's arguably the best possible Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs version on video CD. The second one is Snow White from a company called Ardya Insani International. So this is another distributor, but this is not like Vision. This is not really official, so this particular company, it's not like the official selected distributor from Disney. This company is well known for releasing very old movies like Lassie movies with Elizabeth Taylor when she was very young, movies like Joan of Arc and old movies. So Snow White is belong to the category of old movies because it was released in 1937. So old Disney movies like Snow White, Pinocchio, Fantasia, Bambi and Sleeping Beauty, this company, Ardya Insani International, they release these old movies, but they are not really the official distributor for Disney movies. So they cannot release newer movies. So maybe older than 1970, they cannot release those movies. And the third one is from Buddha Video. This particular one is not really well known, and it's very rare, it's very difficult to find, and this is also not official. And this, just like Ardya Insani, released not just Snow White but many other old Disney movies. So the key is the old movies. So later I'm going to play the discs in the computer so you can see the difference, but my best guess is that the Vision, the official distributor for Disney, released the best possible Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in the best quality. So the picture quality of this is the highest one. And because this is the remastered edition, the upscaled version. This is the Diamond edition, the newest version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And my guess is that the other two versions from Ardya Insani and from Buddha Video, they're all the old version, maybe the unaltered versions. You can see that the picture, the color, it looks very old, looks washed out, and there are flickers and like the old movies, like these are taken from really old movies, and there's no attempt of restoration or anything. So I'm going to play the movies. You'll be able to tell the difference by yourself because the difference is very clear. These three, they're all in video CDs of the same format but different distributor, different license, I guess, and different picture quality. The difference is so clear. You can really tell the difference. It's very easy to tell the difference. The Vision, being the real official distributor, the picture looks great even though it's on video CD, but it's the remastered edition, so it's been restored. The quality is arguably great, while the rest they look really old. But this is what's interesting, is that because these are very old and maybe unaltered, this is kind of historical, because this is not the movies that that has been restored. This is maybe the original version of the movie, because take a look at how old it is, and the distributor, they're well known for releasing old movies. So Well, let's just finish this introduction and let's just start the in-depth look of these video series of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from Disney. Okay, now let's just start from the first one. This is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from Vision. This is the newer version that came out with the Blu-ray when it first, released on Blu-ray for the very first time. And this is the video CD version of the movie. And take a look at the design for the disc. The design for the disc, it's very similar with the design of the DVD. And it's split in two discs. Take a look at that. The design of the second disc is the same as the design for the first disc. Let's close this and take a look at that once again. Take a look at the design of the art, in the front cover, and maybe you would like to see the DVD. So I happen to also have the DVD. This is the DVD version. This came out during the time when Disney released the Diamond editions and all. This is one of the first released in the Diamond edition. Now, this particular version is different of course from other versions. This is the second version. This is from Ardya Insani International. The design of the front cover is different. The design for the back is different. It's more it's simpler, and I guess it is less attractive compared to the Diamond edition. But let's take a look at the design of the disc. Take a look at that. That's the design for disc one. But this particular paper, I put that myself. Let's take a look at the second disc. This also split in two discs, just like the Vision Snow White video CD. Now let's close this one. And something very interesting actually, because these are the original design for the package of that Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So like this, it's a paper box, and the movie is inside. So just like it's also Sleeping Beauty is the same design. So this is what I've been talking, that this particular company, Ardya Insani, they released all Disney movies, and take a look at that. The design for the price is the same, but I just cut the paper because it was kind of it was in a bad condition. So I cut this paper and then put the paper in this jewel case, this CD case, and this is kind of difficult if you want to take the movie out, because it's inside just like that, and not really good for a collection because it's kind of fragile. And I prefer the jewel case. It is easier, and if the jewel case snaps or anything, it's easy to find the replacement. But that kind of this kind of package is kind of difficult if it is broken. Okay, now we're checking the Vision version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs on my computer. And the disc is now loading. You can see that it loads pretty quickly, and it opens with the warning for the copyright protection and all. And we can fast forward. This is the trailer for Sleeping Beauty, the first time on Platinum Edition back in the day, back in 2008 I guess. And this is Tinkerbell and the Lost Treasure. We can skip the whole section, and it's the logo, the Walt Disney logo. So this is the official release from Disney. This is the opening credit. Take a look at that, the quality of this text, because we might find differences in the next versions of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Take a look at that, the clarity of the text, the name, and take a look at that. So this is actually, basically the same as as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the Diamond Edition, because it has the similar source, only the resolution is lower than the Blu-ray and DVD counterparts, but the picture quality, it's been enhanced from the previous versions. Take a look at that. This is Snow White in the forest. We might want to fast forward, and this is kind of very responsive, very quick. There's no delay when I want to jump to a specific spot. It goes to that spot pretty quickly. And just take a look at that, because later we're going to, to be able to know the difference between this particular version and other versions in terms of picture quality. Now we're going to pop the Ardya Insani International version to my computer. Now the disc is loading. Take a look at that. And it is pretty fast, just like the Vision version. It was released in 2006, and the copyright warning came out first, just like the previous one, but this is different because this one is from a different distributor, and it has a different version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So take a look at that. Notice the difference in color. And the previous one, the Vision, I think that was vastly superior than this one. Take a look at that. This looks very old because this is not remastered. This looks very old. The color, it all looks like it's not so sharp and all. Take a look at that. Let's take a look at the Queen. You can see that the detail and all. They're very different. It's very different from the Vision version. Take a look at that. The color is not as vibrant as the Diamond Edition. Take a look at that. This looks very old. It looks like there's no effort in restoring the picture quality. Take a look at that. This is the Queen. So compared to the similar scene from the previous version, there's no competition. The Diamond Edition is way superior than this one, but this is interesting because this is kind of the sort of the original version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I don't know, because the distributor never really released the official statement about this. They just released this, and this is not part of the Disney's official partner in distributing their movies in Indonesia. Okay, now this is the third and the last version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs that I own. This is from the Buddha video, and this is very, very different from the previous two. You might notice that the design of the package is very different. It looks like DVD, and take a look at that label. Two languages are bilingual, English and Indonesian, so this is different. The other two, they're in English, the original language, but this has two different languages. But since this is video CD, it's unable to present you multiple languages option like DVD. So what happened is that they stored these two different languages in the two channels, the stereo, so left and right. The left channel, it carries the Indonesian language, and the right channel is for the English. Now take a look at the design of the disc. This is also very different and rather dull compared to the other two. The design, the package design, and the design for the disc, to me, is the worst compared to the other two. And this is kind of rare and kind of interesting, because this particular version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it's not just the package that is different from the previous two versions, but the actual movie is very, very different. Now, I don't know whether this is official or not, or whether they got the permission from Disney, but this particular edition has a very, very different soundtrack. I mean, they changed a lot of stuff from the movie. They changed the music. They changed the running time. As you can see in the beginning, it has no. Later you would see that it has no opening scene from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, or the credit scene. It doesn't have that. And there are back sounds and sound effects that are changed by the distributor. For example, if when Snow White is in the forest, they add a different sound effect for that. So when I saw the movie for the very first time, I was kind of, where's that music comes from? Because I've seen the official Disney Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from Vision, and it doesn't have that sound effect. And the same thing happens with the yellow version, the from the Ardya Insani International, also doesn't have that kind of song or sound effect, and they eliminate several scenes from the movie. So you must notice that the previous Snow White versions, they're all in 2 discs video CDs, but the Buddha video version, it is in a single disc only. So in order to achieve that, they sacrifice the quality by cutting the movie, the actual movie. So if you saw Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in the actual or the official release from Disney, the running time will be much longer than the Buddha version. So it's kind of interesting that they have different version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That these distributors, they are able to distribute the same movies with different quality and maybe different era. For example, maybe the one is the unaltered version or the old version, and one of them is the remastered version, the restored version, and the other one is the altered version, altered by the movie distributor. So the idea of it to me is very interesting and very historical, because it's very important for the history of home videos to know that, oh, there was this distributor who's changing stuff from Disney movies, and I don't know how they got away with that, because this Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is not the only Disney movies released by this Buddha video, and not the only one suffered from the editing process of theirs. Movies like Pinocchio, I also have Pinocchio, I have also Peter Pan, and I believe that this distributor added the song from Snow White to Peter Pan or Cinderella, but they add those different songs from different Disney movies, so it's kind of mixed up. I don't know whether they're, but I think it's intentional. I was kind of, is it intentional or accidental? But I think that it might be intentional. So that is very interesting and very new to me at the time, because I only I found this distributor only in 2016, so it's not a very long time ago, and I cannot find those anymore now, because the only store that I know selling these movies from Buddha Video, it was closed in 2018, the early 2018, so I cannot find other versions, but they are releasing Disney movies from older Disney movies, and that might be interesting to check the difference between different versions. And now let's just take a look at the this particular version of Snow White on my computer. Okay, so apparently Windows Media Player refused to play that last version of Snow White. We have to try different program. Let's open the file folder. This is the actual movie. Let's try to open it with a different program, and let's select from this list. Let's try to use VLC Media Player, okay? And we wait, and it's loading now, and there you go. The VLC opens, and it goes to the movie. So this is from Buddha Video. Let's take a look at that, and notice how they skip the entire opening credit. So they delete the entire opening credit, and jump right into this particular moment. Take a look at that. Notice the difference in color, in picture quality. Take a look at that. And the subtitle is in Mandarin. And we might want to try to change the language. Take a look at that. We can change the language. It's in... Take a look. This is in stereo mode. Let's try to use the left only. And now you're hearing the movie in Indonesian. Let's fast forward and just try to explore the movie. Take a look at that. The difference in color, the difference in the brightness and the sharpness. Once again, this is in Indonesian. Take a look at that. The Queen. Let's try to fast forward and take a look at that. And that's the animal. Fast forward again. And but there's something is lacking with this movie, is that the disc quality and the file structure. I don't know, but this it looks like this is different, because take a look at that. It's not really responsive. So when you click to a specific spot, it takes time for the disc to load and jump to the particular spot, unlike the previous versions. So it kind of freezes for a while before it gets to, take a look at that, before it gets to the actual chapter that we really want. And I have a story also about this particular version. I guess it has a different file structure, maybe different standard, because when I try to play it in a standalone DVD player, some DVD player plays the movie, some of them don't. For example, I have a Sony DVD player and it refuses to play this particular movie. Take a look at that.
Apa penawarnya?
Compan cantik tidak bisa menyembunyikan keanggunannya. Nanti akan menjadi lebih cantik daripada Anda.
Ada apa? Di mana ayah dan ibumu?
Yang mulia.
Dan kemudian pemburuku yang setia, bunuh dia.
Tapi yang mulia, bagaimana bisa membunuh seorang putri?
Diam! Kau tahu apa ganjarannya kalau kau sampai gagal?
Okay, I didn't expect this to be this long. I thought that this is going to be very short, but the different versions, it turns out they took quite a while, quite a long time to explain, because these three versions, although they're the same movies, but they have very, very different versions. And especially the last one from Buddha Video is very different from the other two. And the interesting part is that this particular distributor also distributing many other Disney movies, and they're changing the movie, they're adding music, they're deleting music, they're deleting scenes and all from the actual movie. And but that's all that I want to show you for this moment about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, because I happen to have these three versions from these three distinct distributors and showing you three different versions of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs on the similar format. So the similar format of the similar movie might give you a very, very different quality. So I'm going to say thank you very much if you're still with me up until this very moment. And if you like this video, please kindly like this video. And if you want to know more about this, and if you want to know more about Disney video CDs and DVDs and all, you probably would consider to subscribe. And once again, I'm going to sincerely say thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.